Hello, hello. My name is Brittany D. I'm a psychic medium and spiritual teacher here to give you an overall message for the collective for May 21st through the 28th. I literally cannot believe it's the end of May. This morning, I was talking with my partner and I was like, wait, is it April or is it May? It's May, isn't it? And May's almost over. It just like flew by. But I'm excited to see what we have going on this week, what Spirit has for us. As always, these are just overall messages for the collective. So just take what resonates, leave the rest. And if you'd like to book something more specific, feel free to click the link in the description to my website and click book a reading to book a one-on-one 30-minute psychic medium reading. So, yeah, just take what resonates, leave the rest. Also, if you're here locally, I'm going to be doing an ecstatic cuddle event on May 31st. So that's coming up, which is very exciting. If you're local, I would love to see your face and squeeze you and dance with you and snuggle. Let's see what they have for us. Let's see what they have. Whatever's in the highest and best spirit for the collective, May 21st to the 28th. Whatever's in the highest and best spirit for the collective at this time. Ooh, alchemy. You have the Midas touch right now. Every project you begin turns to gold. We're alchemizing. There's something about this that feels really connected to last week, but I honestly don't remember what we talked about last week. I'm not going to try and pretend like I do when I really don't. But it feels like this is somehow connected to last week. I feel like it might come back to me. Yeah, there's some type of energy that's carrying over that we are alchemizing and turning into gold, turning into something that was always meant to be of service to our lives. There's very, very clearly them saying it was always meant to be of service. Like, this is the way it was always meant to turn out, kind of a thing. Playtime. The dolphins know the importance of play as joy creates miracles and manifestation. We are playing in order to create. Come join us for ecstatic cuddle. That is exactly what that is. This feels like a big manifestation energy though. Yeah, there's something that we are alchemizing to create. And that playtime is how it feels very miracle based. It's so interesting. Usually when I do these readings, if you're new here, welcome. Hi, hello. I'm really reading off of the cards. This feels much more channeled this week, and that the cards are kind of just these little words, little notes. But it feels like everything is wanting to come through more this week than usual. So that's why I'm not speaking to the cards as much. It just feels like there's miracles on the horizon. We know that we're creating, but we do have to alchemize whatever was coming in from last week in order to be able to really come to that place of it being playful and malleable to create that. It feels very miracle based. I mean, we manifest things all the time, right? But this feels very divine intervention type of manifestation. Make a decision. Feeling stuck or indecisive, listen to your intuition and make a decision. This feels like, once again, for some reason, it's like not as much the cards this week. This feels like making a turn, making a change, but that's what the decisive energy from this card is coming from. It's like we're just deciding to pick ourselves up and put ourselves on a different train track, on a different timeline, in order to align with that vibration of those miracles and what we're really, the the gold that we really know that we're capable of, that we're alchemizing. But this card feels like it's coming forward to bring forward that decisive energy. It's like you come to a point where you just have to make the choice. You just have to make the decision. It's not really necessarily as much about feeling stuck or indecisive. It's just about listening to your intuition and making the decision. You kind of know. It's not necessarily that you have felt stuck. It just feels like you've been waiting for the grid to fill in and to fill in and to fill in and for the moment to be like, okay, now we're aligned. Now we make the decision. Now we get on this train track. Communicating freely. I communicate from the depths of my being. I feel like this is what gets us on that train track. So it's very expressed. There's a lot of throat chakra involved here. We have to literally say it out in order to get on that train track, whether that's between yourself or whether that's with someone else that you're having to communicate. It feels like you're having to say it out to someone else. Like, I'm trusting myself. I'm going in this direction. You can either go with me or not, kind of a thing. And yeah, just that it's that decisive energy, that non-negotiable energy, and you're just expressing it. It's not that anyone's right or wrong or that there's anything bad. It's just, you're just expressing, this is what I'm deciding and this is where I'm going. Igniting courage. I'm strong, valiant, and courageous. Definitely. In order to make this change and to make this shift and to plant it, like as I am saying this out, I'm not just going to do this underground on my own and, you know, in the background, and no, I'm like speaking this out into existence. That takes courage. It takes confidence. It takes a little bit of a leap. It takes strength. So you're literally speaking this into existence, but you also know, like, you just know. So yes, it feels courageous. And also it's like, this is just where, like, you've been waiting for the grid to fill in. This is just where I am at this stage. It's also just kind of non-negotiable. Sharing of yourself. I am an incredibly generous being. I feel like this really leads you to abundance and to overflow and the ability to be so generous with yourself, and just this new timeline that you are just choosing, just simply choosing, it brings out that generosity that you have and that you hold, and that is inherent in you. You always have desired, and maybe you already have, but it expands here. You always have desired to be generous in this way and share yourself, and not only just your voice and your expression and your heart, but also your resources and what you have access to. And, you know, being in this new place that has just aligned. You've been waiting, you know that it was aligning. You've been waiting for the pieces to fall in place so that way you can make the move and make the decision and make the choice and make the change. And now that you're there, you're in such harmony with that infinite intelligence, that alignment, that abundance, that overflow, that you're able to share yourself freely and just like fully be your most truest, authentic soul self, and also be generous with all that you have because it's flowing in from that alignment. You're in overflow is the simplest way of saying it. So I always like to pull a deck from the psychic deck just to kind of see what a glimpse of the following week is going to be. See what they have for us. Maybe not this week. I shuffle a max of 3 times. I never pull the cards out. I always just let the cards, there it is. Okay. And if it doesn't come out on the 3rd try, then I just say not supposed to. Ooh. Moving on is the card that we got. Moving on. We're having to let go. This is like the olds that we have made a decision to alchemize and to turn into something that is miraculous and abundant and overflow. And this is that new timeline that we have just taken a turn in a decision, like a very clear, non-negotiable decision towards. And so we're going to be in that energy of moving on and transition. That word just came through so clearly. The following week is going to be a transition. We're going to be in that transition period. So sometimes when we're transitioning, we feel a little bit like the goo of the butterfly, right? In the chrysalis. But we are moving on from an old reality, our old paradigm that we were existing in order to be in that more generous overflow, sharing of ourself on all levels. So the old it's expired. You've been waiting for the grid to fill in, and then it finally does this week. And so you make that aligned choice from that very clear, like, okay, it has aligned. And then you'll be in the transition of that new space and moving on from the old space. So I hope that this was helpful for you. If you're new here, I would love for you to subscribe, comment below if this was helpful, or share with a friend that you think might benefit. And of course, if you'd like to book a more in-depth reading, feel free to click the link in the description and click book a reading on my website. I will see you all next week. So much love. Namaste.